Welcome to Soulful Sundaze.
Okay, it sounds right.
Come on now, drum roll.
I think there's something to narrowing down that sister circle.
Welcome to Soulful Sundaze, where we are bringing you soul-inspired conversations. What a better way to have a heartfelt conversation in the kitchen, the heart of the soul of the family. I am your host, Lena Anthony. I have my beautiful two co-hosts here, Judy Johnson and Raquel Ballou.
Hey.
Today, I am so excited, guys, because we are going to have some fun. Yes. We are always talking about our husbands and sharing transparent stories of just whatever.
Yes.
And today, this episode is all about meeting our husbands.
Because they really do exist.
And we really do got dope husbands.
And we like them today. So, make it come.
So we're going to bring them out and just have fun, share some stories, so you guys can get to know them, and that we're not always referring to my husband, and you guys can put a face to a name.
Yes. Yes.
So come on out, Pierre Johnson.
Woo, woo, woo. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
All of them.
Yeah, everybody coming. Hey, baby.
Hey, babe.
Hello.
Oh, we got a special guest. Look at that smile. Oh, my God.
He's your future husband.
Right?
I don't know if I like that all the time.
Right.
And of course.
So we get to meet her whole family.
Oh. See, this is why the husbands aren't on all the time, because they don't follow direction.
Basically.
You know what I mean?
Was that my husband?
I think it was.
He's a rebel.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds right. Well, welcome, guys.
Thank you.
You know,
We toast to them. I know they're not going to partake in the toast.
we will toast for them. Yes.
So you want some popcorn? Here, you can have a popcorn.
I'm gonna just reach out.
Now, how y'all come and see? This is what husbands
Can we
do.
introduce their names?
Yes. I'll start over here. This is my amazing husband, Edouard Ballou. Hey, baby.
Nice to meet you guys. Hi, Deb. How are you?
This is my amazing husband and baby daddy.
Hey.
No, I'm not.
Todd Anthony.
And this is my just amazing, incredible husband, Pierre Johnson. And of course, I'm thinking, because this one is like grunting.
Y'all better introduce us.
Okay.
How
All
y'all
right.
do us at home.
This my man right here. Right, this my boo.
A real husband.
Right.
Well, I think what's exciting about having you guys is we talk about our husbands so much, but they really are our other half, our better half. I don't know who I would be if I didn't have this man right here. So, yeah. You don't know who you'd be without me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We talked about this before we came. Yeah. I want to know though, Todd, we'll start with our beautiful host here. What was it that made you say, that's my wife?
Her son. Initially, we were friends, and we were building a good friendship, but as far as intimate wise, at least for myself, I wasn't looking at her in that light. But it wasn't until I saw her relationship with her son to see not only a motherly side, but a love that, us men want as well. As far as, that we see in our wives.
Yeah.
It's a part of our mothers that we want to see in our wives. And I saw that because initially I hadn't, because, a lot of times it was the wall that was put up. And so, but if you...
She tough.
Yeah. But sometimes, a lot of women have that wall up, and I think, it takes a certain man to climb it, to look over and say, okay, it is love beyond this wall.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
I'm a mountain climber because of that.
Right. I still got the cleats on.
What about you, Pierre?
What's the question?
What made you know, like, this was your wife?
What was it about Judy? I mean, it was her spirit. Like, it was a thing. I'm really petty when it comes to dating and intimacy with certain things. So just seeing her and just seeing her character over a while, it was just something that was speaking to me that I wasn't necessarily paying attention to.
Yeah.
But it was just like every time I would see her, it would be there. So you know, so that was the reason why, you know, just to go forward, move forward, and everything like that. So
baby, what made you choose me?
Well, I listened to your answer and stuff, so now I have time to reflect on that. But honestly, I'm gonna keep it simple. For me, that was really simple. I had a lot of relationship before. I've been through, a lot with women relationship, and I never wanted to marry none of them. And you, I just wanted to make you my wife. So this is how I knew.
You just knew.
Yeah, I knew. I wanted to marry you.
No,
He came all the way from Paris to find me in LA.
No, not to find you. I found you, but eventually I found you. But
Right.
that was not my purpose.
That's why I married him, because he keep it that real.
Right.
I love it. I love it.
So what is the greatest, the sweetest, the most amazing experience or quality you have developed now as a husband that you didn't see in yourself before, that you didn't even think you would have before becoming a husband?
That's a question.
Who wants to go first?
I can go first. Like commitment. I don't lie anymore. I used to lie a lot for a little thing, you know.
Yeah.
And now I'm not. I'm a kind of honest guy. It's weird to say that. But you don't lie for stupid stuff anymore because now you don't feel like you have to.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
So you're more free. It's like freedom.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I think for me, did you want to go first?
nah, you got it.
There's no pressure.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, all right. No, I think for me, since becoming a husband, I realized what the position that God is in when it comes to dealing with us. Right, because, you know, he loves us through everything from ups, downs, lies, walking away from him, you know, sometimes cursing, all of that. And we're called to love our wives as he loves us. And so in that position, when your wife does anything, her attitude, the way she may speak, her tone, you know, whatever the case may be, that type of love has to be like worked on. You know what I mean? It's like it really takes you through the ringer, but you realize, okay, man, it allows you to look at yourself inside and say, okay, this is how God feels when I do X, Y, and Z. So it allows you to have more compassion, more patience, more love for your wife. So that's what I've kind of, you know, learning and you know, to be truthful, am still learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you forever learning.
Yeah.
I think for myself, and what's the question? The greatest thing that I've learned as a husband, right?
This man don't pay attention.
No. Listen,
We just started
This is like my brother. So
No, it's actually
so
let me keep it. Let me
Please,
protect you,
Todd,
brother.
please.
Because you know he's actually directing this episode, so y'all know. So at the same time, he's trying to make sure everything going on right behind the camera, while also trying to do his thing in
Thank
front
you.
of the camera.
So because
thanks,
appreciate
We'll give you that.
That was a good
Yeah,
you
thank
should be
you.
lawyer, right?
And because I'm answering the question of the ladies, one thing you find out in marriage is make sure that you get the question so that when you answer that directly. So you don't have to go, you know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. I'm just making sure that you know what I'm saying? So for myself, the greatest things like for this is patience and the difference between listening and hearing. And I've never known that I can be as present in a relationship as I am with my family, with my wife and my family now, because I was always ripping and running, and the faithfulness and the loyalty and the things like that is a daily challenge, and I thank God for his daily grace. But that's one of the things that I found in myself is I learned boundaries. I learned that I have security as well, because I've given her and my son my last name. So for me, it's just it's accounts that I'm just deposited in, and the love I get back is my return. So that's the greatest thing that I've learned and have discovered as a husband.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have a question that I think most women always want to know before they get married. Did you guys prepare yourself for us, or were you just like, what was your mentality before we came? Were you ready to be married, or was it something that just like,
Were you trying to get married?
like what was the
Prepared to get
process?
married?
For me in particular, like coming off of Elena, I mean, you was there. Like I did 3 years of celibacy, like not touching anything or anyone. For that matter, I didn't mean to say anything, but not touching anyone.
Ain't touch no swine.
I was all pork beef, like I ate straight lettuce for 3 years.
No meat, huh?
no meat. So for myself, like having such a deep root of women and intimacy and things like that, I had to go through an extreme cleansing. So in part of the question, yes, I did prepare myself because it was times like when we would be having difficulties or arguing, and I'm ready to leave the house, and the Holy Spirit would stop me right at the door, like, where are you going? And if she wasn't here, what would you be doing? And the answer genuinely is I wouldn't be having sex or touching anybody anyway, so it would stop me from running or going to another point, because I had 3 years experience of not touching anybody intimately, so that is always my safeguard. So as you know, like as your mind go back and it's like, let me go, blah blah blah, it always hit that 3-year window to where I'm just stopping right there. So I'm extremely grateful to that. On the other side, like financially and all the things like that, like you have your business in order, but you can't necessarily prepare for what it is that you
don't even know.
With marriage, like it's a part of it you just don't know, because what worked for you as an individual won't work as a couple, and then it won't work as a family. So you have to continue to evolve, and you also have to be patient enough. Like that's one thing about the women, like you met us where we were and vice versa, so we have to do the work together to make sure that we continue to evolve, because we're supposed to bring something out of each other in addition to kids.
That's really good.
Because actually me, I think, I mean, to jump on what you were saying, me, I would say I was not even prepared. I did not prepare myself for that, but I really made some radical change, and I was ready to learn. So I learned that I had to take very quickly this capacity to learn new stuff and adapt myself to a new situation and embrace it. You know, don't reject it. The fact that now I'm about to marry this one because this is what I want. It forced me to be open and to change and to be able to learn new stuff, because that's a new situation, and it required me to change and to learn how to be the best husband for her. So I was not prepared, but I forced myself to learn and to be open and to don't think I know everything, because I didn't know the situation. So new situation, new adaptation, and new habits, new everything. You change everything for you. So I was definitely open.
That's awesome.
But not prepared.
I think you indirectly and directly prepare, or subconsciously and consciously prepare for marriage. Subconsciously you prepare because you go through things, you go through relationships, you go through ups and downs of learning yourself, and all those things actually prepares you for marriage. You're just not consciously making a decision until you finally make the decision. And now, because you had those experiences, you say, okay, I know I don't like these qualities in women because I went through that. You know what I mean? Or
my mistake.
I learned this about myself, and I know, so you know what I mean? So when you finally make the decision to get married, now it's like, okay, this is what I'm looking for in a wife. And when you find it, now when you're in it, obviously that you can't prepare for. I think it's just a matter of the two people have to be as whole as possible, and then you create a whole new dynamic, a whole new system, a whole new blueprint for what your marriage is going to be, and not what you've seen others to have.
So, when you think of advice that you would give to someone that is about to take that step into marriage or prepare for marriage, what advice would you give your former self that could be good advice to someone else
for this preparation?
To enter into this season in their life.
I mean, for myself, what I would tell myself, or a person that's walking into it, is to prepare yourself properly and take some of the scenarios that you're in now a little more serious. Meaning, don't just be so frivolous with your credit. Don't just be so frivolous with your body. Just don't let your mind and thoughts wander. Like, don't be afraid to take your cool off. That's when my life changed, when I wasn't afraid to take my cool off. Meaning I wasn't looking to impress my neighborhood no more. I wasn't looking to fit in anymore. I wasn't looking to be the cool guy in the club anymore. Like I was okay with being Pierre. I was okay with stopping myself, understanding like I'm cool enough to not have to drink to have fun. Like I know that about myself, so I can stop drinking.
Yeah.
I know my body, like one thing, it was passed down through I have a lot of men in my family, and they all had a lot of women. So that was something that was pushed down on me, but I didn't want it to continue to go. So I had to figure out how do I stop my body from driving me into all these different lanes with different people. So it's just a matter of honestly just slowing down, remembering yourself by bringing your pieces back together, allowing your piece to come back, start reading, practicing celibacy as much as you can. Like not saying you got to go 3 years like I did, but just try one day. And if it's one day, then try two. And you know, like you'll have some recess, but you got to be gentle with yourself, and you got to understand like I'm at war against myself, because now what's gonna happen is the highlight and the wrestle for your soul to be highlighted within yourself. And you know, so for me it was just a point to where it's like I've done so much work on myself that when I go into the next situation, what I'm holding is so valuable because I understand my own value. I just can't have anything that's just gonna come and go again because it'll extremely rob me.
That's good.
Well, but that's definitely one of the best advice, because you know it's like I like to take this as an example. When you're traveling and you are on a plane, you know the emergency like situation and stuff. They always say, look, save yourself first, and then take care of your neighbor. Well, when you get married, that's pretty much the same. You really have to take care of yourself, because now you are responsible for your family.
That's
So
good.
if you want to be able to help your family, to be a good husband for your wife, so help her in whatever she's doing, and for your kids, raise them correctly and give them a good example, you have to take care of yourself. And so that would be my advice. Take care of yourself. Don't fear anything, because now you are not alone anymore. Take away your selfishness. Like it's not only about you now, it's about your family, your people, and embrace it. Like embrace it, love what you do, and improve yourself all the time.
That's good.
Yeah, even in the marriage, I think sometimes as husbands, we automatically take on the weight of I gotta take care of my family, take care of my children, but you have to take care of yourself first.
Absolutely.
And your wife has to understand
Everybody's
that
watching
too.
you,
Because if you don't take care of yourself and you only take care of everybody else, eventually the foundation is gonna crumble. Right? So you always got to keep the foundation strong, and then say, okay, now I got you guys. But I think the other important question to ask oneself is, why? Why do I want to get married? Why do I want to have children? Why do I want to be a father? Right? Because if you can answer those things honestly, and you get the right answer, then you have a successful home, you have a successful marriage, then you have a successful community, and then ultimately a successful world.
That's a good point. That's a good point. What is your why? What is your reason for your example?
For me, it's because I want literally my legacy to affect the world. Meaning, I'm gonna infuse as much God, as much good, as much everything that's in me that I know is good. I'm gonna infuse into my wife, into my children, and hopefully they take that out into the world to make it a better world. You know what I mean?
I mean, we are all leaving this world one day, you know. So you have to, and that's for sure. So you have to make sure your legacy is here. You have to make sure you leave good stuff behind you.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we chose really well.
I think we chose really well.
Really good.
Yeah.
So I think y'all do too. But I have a question though. My question is, why us, and what differentiate us from other options, or like what's the qualities in us, or what have you? Just answer everything.
Why you just
answer
say
life.
Stroke our egos, please.
But why us? And what's some of the qualities you saw that you witnessed like us evolve? Like what's the evolution of us that you see?
Yeah. Who want to go?
You go.
Because we amazing, right?
Okay, y'all is so amazing.
It's so amazing.
Mine is, you know what? Mine is so simple. When Edouard and I met, we met under the craziest circumstances. We were neighbors and we were friends. I did not know that this was my husband. I did not even have eyes for him as my husband. He's very handsome. But that didn't come until later. When I met him, He was my friend. And I loved that. He didn't even speak English. So even what you hear from him right now, be proud of him, because when I met him, we had to translate through Google Translation.
Wow.
Thank you, Google.
True.
It's very true.
Wow.
We were not able to fully have deep communication. Our communication had to come from us finding ways to express what we were trying to say.
That's good.
Which for me, God knew I needed that. I mean, I was such a sarcastic person, but I would try to be sarcastic with him and he wouldn't get it. So God was like, let's remove that, because it wasn't working. So I was molded at that point. But this is when I knew he was my husband. One day, I came out to the pool area and God had this glow around him. I am not kidding. It was this glow on him. And he was reading a book. And as he's reading this book, the entire world is in chaos of Instagram, of all this stuff going on. But he was so focused on what he was reading. And at that moment, God said, that's your husband. But it was a reason he showed me that. He said, not only is he different, but he's willing to learn. He's willing to open his mind, unplug from the world, and allow his mind to explore something different. And I knew that that was the type of man that I needed. I wanted someone who I was going to be able to explore the world with, not be in the world, not be of it, but be in it. And I just knew at that moment, that's my husband. This man right here, there is something that God set him apart, and he set him apart for me. And that day I was done. I was like, oh, he's mine.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. Yeah, so for me, it was, so for me, it was in a time in my life where I was celibate.
It's all on this.
It was a time in my life where I was celibate. I had recently went through a divorce. I already had my son, and I was in this place of just trying to find myself. So I wasn't looking for a husband necessarily, but because of the woman that God has created me to be, I know that I'm nurturing by heart. I love being a mother. I love being a wife. I knew that that time was going to come. So I remember just going in my prayer closet, and it was very like on a regular basis. I would go to my God in my prayer closet, and I would pray like, Lord, when you're ready for me to date again, this is what I want in a husband. And I remember being so specific and asking for certain things down to, you know, it was a lot of
Singing.
And being able to sing.
Can I tell my story? No, but it was because of a lot of experiences. It was because of a lot of experiences that I went through in the past. I was trying to make sure I wasn't going to imitate those same mistakes, you know, or experiences. Yeah. So yeah, I would go in my prayer closet and I would ask God for certain things in a man, certain qualities, and I did. It was a time in my life where I was like, well, let me see if I can have everything. I want a man who can sing, Lord. And I was in acting school around that time, and I remember Todd, like he's from Philly. He was the homie. We were cool. We would hang out and kick it. But I never once saw him as the guy I would date, the guy who was going to be my husband. We were just cool. We both was not looking at each other in that way at all. It was never a thing where I thought he would be my husband. So as time would go on and we would hang out and we would get to know each other, he would be around my son, because everybody knew if Lena was around, her son was around. So as time would go on, we start to find out more of each other, and I saw different qualities in him and he saw different qualities in me. And then eventually I remember just praying, and I remember literally hearing God say, Todd is your husband. Woo! But I ignored it. I kept trying to run away from that because I was such a still Philly girl. I was like, no, my husband brown skin and he got all this. I was just like, I was creating
Light
this.
Skin Brothers one.
I had this whole image that I thought I didn't. I really didn't know. But I remember going into a vision. God gave me a vision that I actually hugged him like on our wedding day. Yeah. I saw him. Ooh, and that's where I got like, I started getting like weird, like, no, now I'm awkward.
Yeah.
Now we're going to class together and we're hanging out, and I'm truly awkward. Like, I don't even know how to act around him anymore. But he knew, like, after a while when he got to know me and know my son, he knew. He would say to me, I want you. I want you. Like, he knew that there was purpose in this. But the thing about him being my husband, God knew that it was a purposeful assignment. Not only did he change me in so many amazing, powerful ways, like just character-wise and just allowing me to, he helped me evolve into a better person. But there is so much purpose and destiny in us together as one.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't able to accomplish a lot of the things that I'm accomplishing now until he came.
Your purpose
and
came.
even with him, he wasn't allowed to accomplish things until I came. So it literally was like a puzzle. God connected us together, and now it's this beautiful thing blossoming. So listen, I am so grateful that I was able to hear God, to have discernment, and to not, because even though I ran for quite a long time, I was able that God didn't just turn his back or allow him to turn his back, you know?
That was a long story. That was long.
I'll say.
Translated, Todd is a very good man.
Yes.
You're a good guy.
The light-skinned brother won, okay?
Wrap it up, Judy.
Thanks, bro.
Don't
Bring us home.
Our husbands are ready to go.
When it comes to my experience, the only thing that was very clear is the Spirit of God telling me, pay attention. That's it. I didn't hear, this is your husband. I didn't hear anything of that sort. And when I paid attention, his character spoke volumes. And what was most impressive to me was everything that I thought I was, he was it 100,000 times more. And there was a reflection in him that I could see in myself, but I wasn't really living. Pierre is a beautiful reminder of how much more I can become. And in that, every day, there is a challenge, there is a friction, there is a tug and pull in our relationship that when we overcome it, it's a sweeter level.
Yeah.
And in that, I'm always reminded to pay attention to Pierre. I know he's probably back there either rolling his eyes or smiling.
No.
He's actually not.
Okay, well, I'm paying attention.
You're not paying attention. You're just
Yeah,
assuming
'cause
that.
she's
But I'm on your side.
No, but I'm
This
saying
is the
all of
story of
that.
husband and wife.
Right.
Y'all. We know.
I'm saying all of that to say that when I met Pierre, it was definitely a God story. But in that, the only thing that I knew was to pay attention then, and in our marriage is to just pay attention.
Yeah.
So we can let y'all go.
Well, we just want to toast to y'all coming out here. We thank y'all.
Thank you for having
love
us.
y'all.
We love y'all.
You too.
Yes.
They got to go work the cameras now.
Taking me kisses and I'm holding him. Okay, all right.
Thank you for watching Soulful Sundays. You guys got to meet our husbands.
Yes.
And we're excited to share our journey with you guys.
It's Soulful
Soulful Sundays.
Soulful Sundaze.
Soulful Sundaze.
Okay, wait, baby. Can you say something in French for us really quickly?
Say so full of love. so full of
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He's not even French.
Just tell us, babe, end us on something French.
Alors, merci d'avoir regardé, c'était un bel épisode et j'espère à très bientôt et passer du bon temps avec nos fabuleuses femmes.
And what did you say?
Merci.
We want popcorn.
She can
I can actually tell you what he said.
She's
I can actually tell you what he said. He said,
Sure about that?
thank you. Yeah, he said, thank you for having us. It was a beautiful episode. I'm thankful to have been a part of it. And thank you to my beautiful wife.
Okay, you out here.
Okay, he ain't saying.
Soulful Sundays.
Soulful Sundays.
Soulful of love. Soulful Sundays.
I'm gonna get you.